What's going on, everybody? I'm Sean James, and this is Kentucky, the main truck state. On today's video, we are once again working on the Nissan hardbody build, trying to get this base truck finished up so we can start getting it played so we can get back onto that poor neglected Mazda. And then once we get that done, we working on the silver truck. I took it this morning and gave it a good bath, made it look nice. While I was out, I saw my good friend, Jason Randolph, and this is his truck. It is a beautiful, beautiful truck on 28s. And that's not even laid all the way out. He still has it sitting up in the air a little bit, so not too bad. And I'm trying to talk him into letting me shoot a video on it, and I'm sure he'll let me do it. We just haven't really had a chance to get together to do it, so maybe soon we'll have a feature video on that. But anyway, before we get into too much on this video, let's make sure and do all the good YouTube things. Make sure and hit the like switch, comment down below, hit the notification bell so you don't miss future videos, and make sure and hit the subscription button if you're not a subscriber. I got looking at the analytics on my videos, and it turns out that, 86% of people are watching my stuff on TVs, which just blows me away. So thank you guys for that. It's nice to know. Like I said in the last video, if you go through and you click on my icon, it'll give you the options to like the video. And then if you go over to where your settings button is, you can click on it, or you actually click on the icon, click over a little bit, and then you can find where actually you can subscribe from there off your TV. So if you like the videos, you like the content, please think about subscribing. I really would appreciate it. I'd really like to be able to get to 1,000 subscribers pretty soon. I'm planning on doing a giveaway maybe this week. It depends on how things kind of go. I've got these little keychains I'm going to make right here. So those are the lugs off of the wires I cut out from the first build on my Nissan. So maybe if you guys are interested, we'll do like a hashtag Kentucky, the mini truck state, and we'll do a comment randomizer where we can go through and find out who's commented hashtag Kentucky, the mini truck state at the end of the video. And on next week's video, we'll pick out, I'm going to say either 5 or 10. I don't know if I want to do all 10 yet. Let's just do 5. We'll do five keychains. We'll give them away. That's if we have enough people to do it. I really need to get the comments up for that to happen. I can't have one person comment Kentucky, the mini truck state, or he's going to get 5 keychains. So that's just the way it's going to work out. But anyway, we're in the process of getting the wires and stuff ready to install. I went this morning and bought the cables, or the wire to wire up those 2 little voltmeters for my battery so I can keep an eye on the front. I still got to build that panel, but I can do that here in a little while. What I want to focus on this morning is getting the rear panels ready to install, getting that wiring stuff ran, and figuring out what I need to notch here and there before I paint the new fuse block, because the way those wires run underneath and around, I need to clearance the sides so the wires aren't in such a bind when they come around. But anyway, I'll show you that when we get there. So let's go ahead. See what I want to do first. Let's look in the back of the truck. And so this messed up the other day. These pop rivets broke. So I've got to get new pop rivets on top of new struts for it. But now that we have this all tore out, let me open this back up. Now that we have all the we can take the batteries and stuff out, we can focus on how we're going to run these 2 power wires and get them set. And then, like I said, we got to pull the RTA cables out and get them ready to go on that panel, and get those panels ready to install, because there's really nothing now to stop me from doing that other than getting those 2 wires ran up forward for the voltmeter. So we'll get those wires tucked in there, get them pulled to the front. I'll have to pull the amp rack or the panel out of the front of the Nissan, but y'all seen it before. It's just sitting in there. I'll just pull it out and get those wires ran into the front, and then I can actually get the sub put back into the hole. And what I'll have to do is just clock that sub just a little bit off center to have new wood to put the sub in, which I've had to do that before, so I have to clock it the other direction. And hopefully it'll stay in longer this time, because that is getting kind of frustrating. But anyway, such a nice day. This whole weekend is supposed to be really nice and mild, no real humidity. So, and man, this truck's been sitting here so long, it's got oak tree crap all over it. So when I do get it done, I'm gonna have to clean it. And then the waterborne clear is starting to really peel off the topper. So hopefully soon we can talk with Aaron Jones at King's Body Shop about getting this thing painted and make it look a little better, so it doesn't look like it's an old nasty turd. But anyway, I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you for all the subscribers I do have. I do appreciate you guys being there. Thank you for all the comments in the last couple videos. And thank you for everybody that's on my Facebook page. We're getting close to 1,800 people on there. So hopefully, soon you guys will come over to my YouTube channel and check it out as well. I do appreciate it. And let's go from there. So let's figure out what we're going to do. And we'll pick it up there. I said it again. I said I wasn't going to say it. I said it again. Son of a... All right, guys. So I've been messing around with the RCA cables here. And I've got it figured out. So this is the wire, the one that goes back. It actually feeds the DSP, the signal. And then this is the one that goes to the bass knob. And then this one is the one that comes up and feeds the two 4-channel amps in the front. So now that I got figured out what goes where, I can start the process of getting them run back to the DSP and actually getting them hooked up. So it's good to know what I have. The only issue I have now is on those RCA cables, they have to go onto that bass knob a certain way because one is input, one is output, the way it goes through the potentiometer in the knob itself. So that shouldn't be too hard to figure out, but that's going to be the only issue we're going to have from there. But we can go ahead and get that rear panel set in place and go ahead and actually get it mounted. So we'll make progress on that. And then once we get that done, we can get the power wires on the other side to figure out where they have to go, and probably notch that bottom just a little bit back behind the battery box where we won't be able to see it. So that's not going to be a big deal either. So we'll get that done, and we'll pick it up. So I said it again. God, I got to stop saying that. I don't know why I keep saying pick it up again. Hey, pick it up again, buddy. No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to pick it up again. We're going to see where we're at that point and pick it up from there. We'll get there. Not too worried about it. So as you can see all the way through. The speaker box up to the front of the truck. I got the front panels out, so I can get all that stuff really easily. And I said we'll go ahead and get those RCA cables thrown back towards the back. I'm gonna go ahead and put some tape on them, so I know what they are. It'll make it easier whenever I get ready to hook them back up. So I gotta try and guess at it again. So it was just a matter of taking it. I had them all taped together, so I just untaped them, pull it out, and I can see how it was laid out inside the cab. My brother's Mazda, and yeah, we can go get it figured out now. And actually start wiring that stuff up and get the power wire ran for the DSP. It'll have a little ring terminal to go down to that battery below it. So yeah, we're making progress. We're getting there. And I looked, this is going to be video number 12 for the Nissan, which is not the 12th video of this series, but I think this is going to be like number 8 maybe. So a lot more than I expected it to be, but that's okay. I mean, everybody seems to really like the content so far, and I appreciate it. I had quite a few comments and all that, so I'm happy for sure. But enough rambling, like Crawford says. Gotta stop rambling. Let me go ahead and get this figured out. It's dark. I need to open this other door. It's really nice outside today. So, but anyway, let me get that stuff figured out and get that panel stuck in place, and I'll show you that when we get there. All right. So I decided to go ahead and just take my bass knob and take it apart so I can find out what wires went where. And so luckily, when I got this thing, Slam Panda has input and output on each one, so all I gotta do is figure out which is which. So basically I can look at these and I can see the input when it goes to the 4-channel is blue and black, which matches this here. So when I go to the back of the truck, I'll know that the blue and black on this end here, these two here will be the input and these two will be the output. So I'll know how to hook those up. So this will go to the DSP, or this will go to the DSP, and this will go out to the cock box, or the splitter in the back. So now that we know that, what I'll do is I'll put some blue tape on this end, so I know. Which, I mean, the blue and black will give it away, but this way in the future I want to guess at it. So we'll just put some blue tape down here, back here at the bottom where you can't see it, and then we can get this stuff ran, and we won't have to guess at it. So I mean, I knew it wouldn't be a big deal. It was all just kind of black taped up anyway, so it's not really hard to get into it. So I had to just take the time and open that up so I could tell, make sure my thing's on, it's on. So yeah. But now we got that figured out, there's another little issue we don't have to worry about anymore. So good deal. So as I was taping these RCA cables back together, I saw something, and now I feel kind of dumb. That blue tape was already on there from when I installed this last time, so I wouldn't run into the issue I ran into this time. And then, of course, you know, knowing that these two were the RCA or the splitter box, wouldn't have been that hard to figure out because you only plug one way. So, but I tried to remind myself the first time I did this. I just didn't look at it this time when I was putting it back together to figure it out. So, anyway, now I know for sure. This blue one is the input. The black one is the output. So, It'd be really easy to hook that all back up. I've got these all kind of taped back together, so I can just throw it back towards the back of the truck. It'll go down the hallway, and then it'll get hooked up to the RCA splitter box. So I try to make it easy on myself, and I just didn't pay attention. So sometimes that just happens on these big jobs. As you can see, we are making progress. So I've got this amp panel in, got it wired up. I still got to make the plugs for the bottom for the RCA cables. I have them in there. I still got to paint them black, so that's not a real big deal. I still got to put the screws in it to screw it in. You can see where the little dimples are to screw it in. So now I just need to pull this battery tray out of the way, and there's nothing that goes on that side. So all I got to do is notch the bottom for those 2 power wires to come through. So I just got to decide where I want them to come through at. And I might even cut where this corner comes down. I may just cut a spot like opposite on the other side, but like cut a little spot there so I can come underneath that, out of that corner a little bit, not in a bind, trying to get turned around. It'd be out of the way of all the other the grounds and powers from where I got to hook the amps up, so that way I can push those batteries back as far as I can. But yeah, we're making progress. We are getting stuff wired up. I'm happy. So, and I've just got the wires for the voltmeters just pulled back. I just went and bought some I think 16 gauge speaker wire this morning, 14 gauge, something like that. And all it is positive and ground for the voltmeters. They're very small, very low power, so they don't need big cable, y'all. What I have is probably way more than what I need, but it's all I had at Walmart. So I think it was like $7 for the roll, so not too bad. But yeah, looking to look good. Now I just need to get that, like, to get that battery, the other battery pulled out, and get the other panel set in place, and figure out where that power wire goes, and we'll be making headway. I will have to pull that battery out, pull them apart, and find another piece of aluminum or some way to balance those still. I haven't figured that out yet. I haven't really put a lot of thought into it. I have a few ideas that I could do. I've got some aluminum from work that I could bend with a metal brake and actually make a couple of ledges for it to sit on, and just screw it down to some wood. That way it holds it in place, and then just take a grinder and just grind it back flush so I can make contact with it, and that would be more than plenty to work. So I may just do that. Be cheap and easy. Right there on the back of the truck, that blue tape on it. Right there. So I could easily make a rail for that to go on, but I really don't want to go out and buy anything just to do that. So well, I don't know, we'll figure it out. But progress is progress. We're making it. We're getting there. I'm probably going to buy new screws to screw those panels on with, because the ones I have were starting to get a little bit kind of stripped out looking. So I want to go get new ones of those and actually get the right size drill bit to put those in with. That way they all fit. They look nice and clean. Doesn't look like it's been boogered up like those do. They're wore out. They've been used several times, which doesn't look too bad, but they're a couple bucks, not a big deal. All right, well, let me get that pulled out and we'll pick it up. Again, I said it again. I'm not going to say it anymore. Don't let me say I'm going to pick it up anymore. Oh my gosh, I got to stop saying pick it up from there. 4th or 5th time in this video already. Or am I doing it on purpose? You be the judge. Like I said, I'm trying to let my personality come through a little bit more in these videos, try and be more myself, so let's have a little fun with it. All right, as you can see, I've got this bottom cut out, so now all we got to do is just put this in there. Go. Slide it up. And now it's looking like a complete truck in the back. It looks like the whole thing needs to shift over that way just a little bit, which is not a big deal, but it's not going to happen because I had to take all the amps and stuff off, and I'm not unwiring all this up just to get that over touch. So, and actually, I think this needs to get pulled over anyway. That's right. The toppers open up a little bit. So, but yeah, we're absolutely making progress today. The next thing we have to do is get the batteries charged up. So we're going to figure that out next. And I may make a few phone calls. I have a friend that has a metal shop that may have some stuff that I can use to get the stuff balanced. I can just give it back to him. So we will figure that out here shortly, and we'll pick it up from there. I've got to get that out of my head. I actually want to stop saying it, but I keep saying it for whatever reason. But yeah, it's actually starting to look really good. I'd like to get a couple screws in there, just see what it's going to look like up there. And I still got to put my Skar stickers on here. I haven't decided if I'm going to use the ones that I have or try and get some new ones made again. I think the Skar by itself looks okay, but I think when it says Skar audio like it's supposed to, which is this one's rotted off, I think it looks a little better. So, and I'd rather not have to do it twice because then I have to peel those other stickers off. So, and right now it doesn't look bad just being black plain amps. Actually, it's kind of neat, but I need to go ahead and get the second port resanded, get the fuse block sanded, and then the small fuse block sanded, and so I get them ready to paint. Maybe I can go to Lowe's and get that paint picked up today and get that stuff sprayed either today or tomorrow. Tomorrow we're supposed to go play golf again, which every Sunday I play golf with my brother and my friend Robert Diatley. I want to give my friend Robert a huge shout out. He is a 20-year veteran of our military service of the National Guard. So thank you very much, Diatley. I really do appreciate it. I'm very proud of you, and I'm glad to see that you're moving on to the next part of your life as a civilian. So thank you very much for your service. Now that we got that out of the way, let's go ahead, and I do have a few new screws, so I may go ahead and just tack this stuff in place. So I don't have to worry about like this is keep falling over. I really like how that cancer ribbon looks over there. I think it's really, really cool. And again, in case y'all missed it in the past videos, that cancer ribbon was painted by Kendall during her recovery at a place called the Funky Monkey. It's a little place down the road, a little pottery shop. You can go in, they have precast pieces, and you paint them, then they fire them, and then you get to bring them home. And so she took one and decorated it. And so I just took it off the wall of the house and actually used the router and made an exact copy of it. So it's the exact same shape, same size, and it's cool to have a piece of her journey in my truck as well as the one that's in the cab of the truck. It's the same thing. Same thing in case y'all missed that video. It's a bigger cancer ribbon like the one I have in the back wall of my shop. It was actually on our door when we come back from one of her chemo treatments that somebody dropped off for us, and so I made an exact copy of it. And whenever I did the speaker box enclosure, I was talking to Drew Jones, who designed the enclosure, and I was kind of in a bad mood, not in a bad mood, just having a kind of bad day, and he'd sent me a picture of my enclosure, my new one. I was all excited about it. Well, scroll to about 3 weeks later, I'm actually building the enclosure. I was kind of upset because I wasn't going to put those cancer ribbons back on the front of the box, because now with the port being bigger with the new enclosure, those cancer ribbons didn't fit on the side of the box, and I'll enclose a picture of the old setup here. And so I was building the box, and I happened to take, I already had those ribbons taken off because I already pulled the enclosure out, and that ribbon fit exactly in the back of it without giving Drew any measurements for it to fit. It's the exact size of the back wall where it fits between the subs in that back wall. So that was really cool. And it's kind of a pick me up on, when I was having a kind of a bad day. It's like, it's amazing how things work out sometimes. It was not planned, but it couldn't have been planned any better. So a big shout out to Drew Jones on that. Baseaholic Productions, he's the one that does all my designs for these bigger enclosures, because there's just a lot of math involved in it that he knows. I don't know it very well. I'm sure I could figure it out, but he's been doing it for a long time, and he does a very good job at it. So, again, shout out to Drew Jones at Baseaholic Productions. So, all right, now that we have this done, I'm going to see if I can find a couple of screws, get this stuff tacked up, and then we can kind of move on to the next step, which would be we can get the front loading wall put back in. We can get that sub installed. We can get that front pad put down. And really, it's just a matter of putting it together now. So, I mean, it shouldn't take that that long. The funnest part is going to be getting all the wiring put back in, those big wires, and getting them all to look nice and flowy as I want them to, and hopefully everything goes back together and looks like it did when we roughed it in. So, but I'm happy. We're making progress, so let's keep it up. All right, it is now close to 8 o'clock. My wife wanted a drink, so we went to Sonic, and then we drove around and just had a nice evening. Super nice outside right now. It's about 73 degrees. There's no humidity. It's perfect cruiser weather. So we had the windows down, driving slow on some back roads. Stopped by and saw some friends. They're out in their yard. And I got a hold of my friend Jacob Demfip. I stopped by his house, see what he was up to today, and asked him if he had any metal that might help me balance my batteries. And looky there. He had a piece of aluminum 1x1 square tubing that was 21 foot long. So we cut it in half, and I made basically 10-foot rails. So the way this is going to work is I've got to take the batteries apart, and then the cells will lay across here. Put the positives on one side, the negatives on the other, and I'll lay them up there all the way across there. Every one of the batteries will lay across there. And as they lay there, they'll take and balance each other to the same voltage. Then once they're all the same voltage, then I can put them back together and charge them up to the proper voltage I need to. Or you can actually charge it on the table, but I won't do that. So I got to take that battery apart. The other one is over here, up there. I got to take it apart. And then the new cells that are in the bottom, take them out. Put stops on one end. I'm going to take it and sit on top of some crates. That way it can sit up. I'm going to let it sit overnight, and I'll check it again tomorrow. And it's going to sit until they're all exactly the same. That way everything will balance out really good when I go to charge it and put it in the truck. And then once that's done, I can install the batteries, and we're done with that section of it. So, man, we made a lot of progress today, honestly. And I'm really surprised. I'm very happy that Jacob had that piece. Thank you, Jacob. I appreciate you letting me have it. So that is definitely going to help me out, because that was kind of one thing that was holding us back, was finding something to do that with. And I don't want to have to spend like $80, $90 for a piece of aluminum angle, or what I got. So that worked out really, really well. So I'm going to go ahead and get set up, get the batteries taken apart, get them all set up, and get them all charging. I have to have 36 cells. That one that nut wasn't tightening down on, I'm probably not going to use that one, because I'm afraid that cell's going to break off when I go to take it apart. So I'm kind of worried about that. If it does, no big deal. I have 4 extra. And I had one that arced the other day when I was putting the wires in. The bolt on the thing actually caught the edge of it, and it sparked. I don't know if that's going to be bad or not, so I'm not going to use that one either. So that allowed me 2 extra ones. And I believe Showtime Electronics will still sell single cells. If not, I can always buy another 6-bank just for a backup if I need to. So, but anyway, let's get to getting these batteries set up. I'll do a time lapse of getting that stuff set up, so you can kind of see what I'm talking about, and then I'll kind of explain it better once I do get it set up. So here we go. All right, so I went ahead and cut some little blocking to put in there to hold it together. That way it can't separate on me. And then I put these 2 clamps at the end to keep them from rolling off. And so now you can kind of see what that's going to look like. And then, like I said, the cells will just lay on there. So I'm going to go ahead and take this battery apart. And as I take it apart, I'll go ahead and just lay it on here, positive one side, negatives on the other, all the way down that. And then we'll set up a time lapse so y'all can see me do it. All right, as you can see, we've got them all laid out on our balancing board. So all these, you can see the red indicating positive on these cells. You can see positive on all of these cells. That's pretty cool. We'll let those balance out. And then what I'll do is I'll go ahead and check them all with my voltmeter and see kind of where they're at, see how close they are to start out. If they're all close enough, they may be good by tomorrow. If that's the case, then I can put it back together and actually be ready to put them in the truck and then get them on a charger. As long as it's close to 14 volts or 14.6, it'll be okay. But what you don't want to do is put a battery in that's like 12, 11, 12, 13 volts is low, because whenever you start your truck, your alternator is going to put a heavy load on it trying to charge that bank, and that's really not what alternators are designed to do. They will do it, it just won't make them happy, and it's not the best for the bank. So what you do is you build your batteries, you put it on a charger, and you charge it up to the voltage you want. So when you put it in your truck, it's ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and check these with a voltmeter real quick. I'll do that off camera, and if I have anything odd pop up, I will get back on here and kind of explain that to you. But more than likely, I'm done for tonight. It is 8:30. I haven't watched motocross yet, and it's one of my favorite things to do on Saturday. So I got to do that. I got to get all this stuff that's outside picked up, put away. I got to get my truck squared away because it's going to rain possibly tomorrow. So I don't want this stuff sitting outside. I need to get my garage cleaned up because it's a absolute disaster. But seeing this stuff in here, that makes me happy, because that's something I've been kind of worried about. And like I said, luckily my friend Jacob had that piece of 1x1 square stock sitting behind his building, been there for a couple of years. He said, dude, will this work? I said, dude, that's absolutely perfect. So thank you again to Jacob. But let's go ahead and get this tested. If I don't come back and say there's something wrong, we'll come back and pick this up tomorrow. Said it again. So like I said, we'll pick it up tomorrow and go from there. But hopefully tomorrow we're putting this battery back together and get ready to charge. So that would be awesome. Great progress today. All right, so unfortunately, that nut would not come off, so I had to cut it off with the grinder. So this cell is pretty much worthless. It's brand new and never been used, but that's just part of it. I don't know if the nut I put on there was bad or the threads were bad or whatever, but I had to get it off the plate so I can be able to use that again. So, oh well. We still have 3 extra cells, so I'm not going to get too worried about it. But we'll pick this back up tomorrow. Picking it up. Here we go, picking it up. I'm eventually stop saying that. I'll be on to something else again. All right, everybody, we're picking up where we left off. And today is now Tuesday. Sunday, we went and played golf with my brother. Monday, we were chasing the job down, getting stuff lined up, getting the stuff delivered, and I didn't really have a chance. I also made the video for the 700 subscriber giveaway, and that was Jason McLennan. Really good dude. Turns out that we were good. We knew each other when we were younger, just didn't realize we did. So had a really good visit with him. You can go back and watch that video. It was released on Monday afternoon. So thank you, Jason. Again, we're gonna be doing the hashtag Kentucky the Mini Truck State giveaway. And we may just do it at the end of this video. Why not? You know, if you guys will comment down below Kentucky the Mini Truck State, hashtag Kentucky the Mini Truck State, I'm gonna give away 5 keychains at the end of this video. I'm not worried about having to explain it, any of that stuff. Nobody's paying for it. This is coming out of my pocket. These are parts of my truck that I took off. There's some of them laying down here, so no big deal. If you want a keychain, hashtag Kentucky the Mini Truck State. You can see it right here, Kentucky the Mini Truck State, all across the bottom. And we'll do a giveaway. So I've only had 1 comment so far from the last video, which was kind of surprising. I figured at least maybe a few more people may say something about it, but nobody did. But oh well, you can't win if you don't give the hashtag Kentucky the Mini Truck State. So I've got the batteries pretty well balanced at this point. I've checked them a few times over the last couple of days, and the last time I checked them, out of 39, 38 of them were at 2.222. I had one that was 2.221, so it was 0.001 volt off from being all balanced. So we are in really good shape. Whenever I put them together, I didn't have them that close to start with. So and the ones that were in the battery already, I checked those, and they were all still very, very close to still being balanced 3 to 4 years later. So no complaints with these battery cells at all. I'm very happy with them. Shirt's looking kind of funky. So I'm gonna go ahead and set the camera up and show you just what the voltages are with my multimeter. And what I'll do is I'll just put the camera on the meter, and we'll just check every one of these cells. So it'll take just a few minutes, but be kind of neat for people who are asking. And so, like I said before, the positives on the left side, negatives on the right, and then you just lay all the batteries up there, and then they balance themselves out. So they all get to be the exact same voltage. Then when you charge them for in the vehicle, they all charge up very well to the same voltage. So we'll be good to go. Let me get the camera set up, and we'll show you what the voltages read. Okay. All right. So as you can see, 0.00. So we'll start with the first cell. 2.23, 2.23, 2.23, so that is exactly what you want to see, is all these batteries showing the exact same voltage. That means they are balanced. So, and I was mistaken, they were all reading 2.23 the other day, so I just misspoke on that. All right, let me get around the other side here. There we go. Now we'll scoot this down. This is awesome. Oh, that one's 0.3 off, 0.003 off, that one. Good. Good. That was kind of scary for a second. Good. Good. Give it a second. 0.001 off, so that's not bad at all. Get it on the camera. So out of the 39 cells, we have 2 that are off by 0.001 and 0.002. So I think we're just fine. 2 more. Last one. And so those last ones were the ones the other day that I was having problems with. So the other day, those last 2 were the ones I was having the issues with. So they're all balanced, ready to go. Like I said, being 0.001, 0.002 off is not a problem at all. So we are ready to put the batteries back together. So I can get that put together. I can get this stuff ready to paint. I got a sand it. It's really nice outside, kind of breezy. So I may just take the stuff outside, kind of let the wind blow the dust off, get that stuff sanded, get it ready to paint. I don't have a compressor here to paint it with. The small one I have doesn't do very good for painting, especially to have to paint that port, because it takes quite a bit of pressure to do that. So what I may do is get it ready to spray and bring the compressor home from work tomorrow, and then that way I can use it to get that stuff sprayed off. So yeah, we're making progress, but the batteries are balanced. That was one of the things I was worried the most about. And again, thanks to Jacob Demfit for giving me the metal to do that with, and man, it worked out really, really good. So I had a chance to do some other things while waiting for them to balance. So it's time to get back to work. I'm gonna get this stuff sanded and get it ready to paint. I think that's what we'll do since it's nice outside. The battery bank will go together really easily, but I gotta get the stuff ready to go. So let me get that ready and we'll go from there. I didn't say pick it up from there. All right, high five. All right, guys, we're back. And this time I lied to you again. I'm sorry. I hope you forgive me. I think you can see that my forehead and face are yellow. I'm not sure what that's about. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why. And maybe that's why. So, as you can see, so much smoother, so much better. This is port like 4.0 now, So it is what it is. I'm not mad at it. So we'll let this dry for a couple days because that can go in the very, very last. This needs to go in sometime tomorrow. So if the weather is nice enough, what I'm going to do is let it sit outside in the sun and bake. I'll do the same thing with the port, same thing with the little fuse block. That way I can get something done because I can't put any of the power wires and stuff in until, well, I mean, I can put some in, but the ones that have to go through that block, I can't put those in yet because they have to go through the bottom, and if I get all the other stuff ran in there first, it'd be kind of in the way. So, but we are making progress. That stuff's ended up pretty good. I really like that Kills primer. I don't know where it's at right now. I'd show it to you again, but it's just that brain fart. Let's see, that's the yellow paint. The white paint, oh, it's right here in front of me. Geez, Sean. Kills original interior primer. Oil-based. And that stuff works really good. That stuff dried for several days. And so it sands out really smooth, real dusty, and lays, made for a really nice finish on the port. So really nice and slick, just the way I wanted it the first time. But here we are the fourth time. And the funny thing is I had just enough paint. I thinned it with acetone because it said it was thinnable with acetone. And I had just enough paint to get the port sprayed. I was almost afraid I wasn't gonna have enough. I was almost scared to try, but you never know unless you try. So I went ahead and gave it a shot. Luckily I had enough. The old paint I have here, this old stuff, it's full of trash, super thin. It wasn't gonna work. So I kind of took a chance again to get it done, but I'm ready to get this thing, start putting back together. So one thing I may do is open the back up and start kind of putting some of the ground wires in place and getting them set so I can figure out how to run where I want the batteries to actually mount in the truck, so I can get those drilled, get them bolted down so they will not go anywhere. I'm not gonna do like I did last time with a couple of little self-tapper screws, some little L brackets, because that was really not the right way to do it. I'm lucky that I didn't have any problems with that, so we're gonna do a little bit better job this time. Like I said, all the batteries are now charged, so now we can deal with that. And get that put back together. So tomorrow will be a big day to make some progress. And I say that, and I may be lying. Wednesday night is our group road ride night, the Zone 2 ride. And so what that is basically we all go out. It's kind of a casual paced ride that I always try and blow up and go faster than we're supposed to, because I always find it funny to attack my friends. Even though I'm very weak on a bicycle right now, I'm not riding near as much as I used to. So it just depends on, like I said, what the weather does tomorrow. If it's really nice outside and the stuff can bake, I may have a chance to put this stuff together tomorrow. So I may just skip the ride, which I've skipped it a few times already. And I hate to do that because I like riding my bicycles. So I need to get back on my bicycles. I'm gaining weight. I'm getting big, like old Free Willy. But we'll let this stuff dry tonight. And I may play with those ground wires a little bit, but I'm not going to show you that on camera. That's just me figuring out how I want to do it. I did have another problem the other day when I was working on the Nissan. The back lid, the pop rivets broke, so I just have that clamped on there with a little vice grip. I've got to get new clamps for that. I need to get new struts for the box itself. For the, not a big deal. Look at that old silver truck, looking good. I love that truck. It's probably my favorite truck I've ever owned. So, and it does work too. Look at this. Yeah, that's hauling 16-foot 2x6s, 2x4s, some 4x4 posts, stuff like that. And I have airbags on the back so I can lift the back when I have weight on it. And it's always kind of cool to see a lowered truck still working. So, all right, well, we'll let you guys rest for a little bit and we'll pick it up here. We will get back to it here in just a little bit. All right, guys. All right, so we're making some progress. Well, we're getting things put back together for the very last time. And so far, I got my wife's in here with me. Hi, honey. How's it going? So I've got the power and the grounds in, going to the amps. turned around to go out to the batteries. The small wires won't get put on until I get the batteries put together. Like I said earlier, all that stuff is already balanced, so I don't have to worry about that. I can go ahead and just put it together. I do have to get the battery boxes set in there, drill some holes, and get them mounted down to the bed. Like I said before, I don't want them sliding around and all that stuff because they'll be quite a bit heavier than what they used to be. So, but yeah, we're definitely making some progress. Today is Wednesday afternoon. I'm hoping to have everything together maybe tomorrow. I don't know. I had an issue with the port again. I ran out of paint when I was painting it, and I didn't realize that I missed this. Of course, it's the spot that everybody's going to see is right here up at the top. So I mixed some paint down, and I got it sprayed. Now it's full of a bunch of all those little, I don't know if you can really see it, but all those tiny little bugs. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I may have to repaint it again, and that'll be port revision number 6. Ain't that right, babe? Sure. She said sure. She doesn't care at this point because there's been too many. She just wants me to get it done so I can get some stuff out of this garage. So I can start working on the Mazda. Ain't that right, babe? Sure. She said yeah. So you gotta do what your wife wants, you know what I mean? Like she wants me to work on it, so I'm gonna do what she says. So but anyway, I just want to give you a little bit of update while we're doing that. I'm gonna keep working on trying to get the battery boxes in maybe tonight. I doubt I'll get them mounted tonight, but at least get them set in place, get them marked, may get them drilled, may get them in place. I don't know. We'll see. But yep, we're still making progress, just a little slower than I wanted it to be this week, but we should be able to have it mostly done by the end of this week. So hopefully the video will be done and we'll move on to something else. All right, as you can see, we have the batteries together. And if we did this right, we should be able to test these, and they should be the same. So I'll test this outside one first. $13.36. 13.36. All right, so as far as I'm concerned, those batteries are balanced. Now they just need to be charged. And look at that gray hair sticking out. Oh my goodness. Let me get rid of that dude. Ow. Ow. But anyway, so yeah, they are ready to go in the truck. I figured out how to get these battery boxes mounted. So the plates straddle this gap, so I can put a bolt in the middle here, in the middle there, drill down into the back of the truck, which we have it closed up because it's almost 10 o'clock at night right now, so I'm not going to be doing any drilling tonight. But we have the batteries ready to mount in the truck, so we are making good progress. It was a nice night outside, so me and my wife sat outside in our little camping chairs and we were rocking and talking and watching videos and sending reels back and forth, doing the old married couple thing. So yeah, we're making progress. It's awesome. So tomorrow, hopefully I can get the batteries put in, get them installed, and get that stuff wired up. I'm gonna have to wait for that port to dry for probably a couple days because that stuff just does not dry fast at all. I hate that paint. I'm not happy with it. The other stuff dried really good, but it's been drying for quite a while. Some of this has been drying for a month. But it is really hard when it does dry, so no real big complaints about that. I still have to find something to put in the bottom of these battery boxes to keep them from digging into the wood. You can see just getting them mounted there where they were digging in already. So I want to find some sort of like plastic or thin rubber mat that I can sit on, kind of take some of the cushion out of it, keep it from messing the batteries up. And yeah, we're getting there, man. So we'll pick it up. We'll pick it up when tomorrow, whenever I get back from work. I'm guessing we may have a short day tomorrow. We're working on a remodel, so we got pretty much everything done. This one white cell had a bad thread on it, so I'll have to get a die to retap that one. That way I can use it, but that one, this one, and that one will just be spares for now. So in case something does happen, but like I said, I've only had 2 gas off in the 4 years that I've had them, so I've not really had any issues with them. So I'm really happy with how that's going to turn out. But anyway, like I said, it's almost 10 o'clock, so I'm going to go ahead and call it a night, get my mess kind of cleaned up. And I will be glad when I get this done because, man, there is so much stuff in here for this audio build, but I can't hardly get around this garage anymore. But once I get back on the Mazda, I can get this stuff out of here. I could probably actually park the Nissan back inside. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm ready to be bumping. So we'll catch y'all in the morning. Not in the morning, the afternoon. Hey, everybody. And we are back. So I'm going to tell you right now, I'm feeling a little defeated. I got ready to put the subwoofer back into the box, and apparently when it fell, it broke the basket. So I will have to order a new sub. I actually ordered 2. That way I have a backup in case something happens again, which is just part of it. It's not a real big deal. It's not a lot of money, but still, it's not something I intended to do. And in that happening, I just kind of lost the gumption to stick with it. So I'm going to call it quits on this video before I end up doing something goofy and messing something else up. I did get the batteries built on video last night. I did a time lapse of those, and they balance out perfect as far as they're exactly the same. So that's good. I did get the battery boxes in. I got them mounted down to the bottom. So they're in. I got all the ground wires and power wires ran and hooked up. I don't know if I showed that or not. So all I got to do is hook the wires at the top and hook it to the battery, and that part is done. So that stuff will go really quick. I don't want to put the port in until I get the sub in because I got to crawl through that hole. And I'm afraid when I crawl in it, if I get any pressure on that paint's awful soft. It's going to take quite a while for it to dry hard enough where I don't have to work really, where I can be a little more rough with it. But so I want to get that subwoofer put in before I get the port put in. So that's going to hold me up. Not a real big deal, but so just not what I was expecting. I was hoping to have a little bit better luck with it, and it just isn't going to happen. We are going to do the giveaway next week, so I need everybody to make sure and enter Kentucky, the mini truck state. Hashtag Kentucky the Mini Truck State down in the comments. I have I think 8, 9 keychains. I'm going to give away 5. So make sure and comment down below Kentucky the Mini Truck State. And when I do next week's video, I'll find out what app that Crawford uses, like I said, so I can copy him again because he said keep copying him. He loves it, so I'm going to keep copying him. I'll figure out how to do that. We'll get it set up, and we'll pick 5 subscribers to do giveaways. If I don't have 5, whatever we have available, we'll get what we get. So there were a few people that commented on the last video. I think we had 3, which is okay, but I'd really like to have enough to give 5 away. So again, comment down below hashtag Kentucky the Mini Truck State, and you will be in for the drawing for the free keychain. So, and like I said, these are the lugs that were cut off from previous cables where I shortened other ones. So I figured it'd be just kind of a cool way to give something to you guys. I know it's not much, but I still think it'd be kind of cool. So yeah, make sure and do that. I want to make sure and thank all you guys that keep sharing my content, that have been there and help my channel grow. We are over 700. We're actually at about 715, I think, right now. So that's not too bad. Share with your friends. You know, do all the good YouTube things. Make sure and comment down below. Hit the like switch. Hit the notification bell. And if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. I would appreciate it. And you know, I can't do this without you guys. I've said that pretty much every video. I appreciate you guys being there and giving me a reason to keep coming out here and pushing and getting stuff done. Hopefully soon I'll get this thing wrapped up. I know it's dragging on a whole lot longer than I wanted it to, but it is what it is. Remember, Kentucky, the main truck state, hashtag. And we will get it done, and we will be back on the Mazda really soon. It's looking really neglected. It's looking like a lean-to right now, but once we get this audio build done, we'll be able to move on to bigger and better things. We'll be able to get the garage cleaned out. We'll have room to work on stuff, and I'm ready to get back on it. My daughter has been using my full-size GMC after work. I come home and say, "Dad, can I go here real quick? Can I take your truck?" I'm not going to say no. I never get to see it rolling down the road, so it's just a more motivation for me to get her something done, because she's been a really good kid. She deserves it. So I need to get back on it and get her something cool to drive. So yep, there we are. Again, I appreciate all you guys being here. Make sure and do all the good YouTube stuff. Hit the like switch, comment down below, notification bell, share my content. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. And we'll make sure and catch you on the next one. But don't forget, Kentucky, the mini truck state. Make sure to enter that hashtag, Kentucky, the mini truck state. I want to give these things away, so it's up to you guys. I can't give it away if you don't enter, all right? We'll catch you on the next one. Thank you, guys. And now, every time my daughter wants to leave the house, look what she's doing. She's stealing my truck.